challenge number two is the cultural drift is really slowing momentum. So there's conflicts, power struggles, and discord becomes more frequently because of the inconsistent messaging across departments. And so, again, that's where the gossip starts. People make up stories about what's happening. And it also creates fragmented decision making. And so teams operate in silos with low accountability, unclear norms. You've got the finance team over here chatting about it, and you got production team over here chatting about it. And, is it their fault and what's going to happen? And so that's part of what happens with kind of the human condition. And leaders see culture and norms eroding. So by looking at that, because culture is really how the team navigates together. And it is based upon what leadership brings down. So leadership starts the culture with how they communicate, how they connect with everyone. So leaders underestimate how quickly the culture erodes in the unified, visible communication. So they don't see it even though they think it's actually happening. So let's shift into some action steps. So establishing consistent communication, having that cadence happen on a regular basis, whether it's weekly leadership notes from the CEO, town halls, different levels of check-ins just to hear that's happening, or it could be mid-level supervisors are clear about what's actually happening and they're meeting with their teams too. And so really equipping managers with those cadence messages with confidence so that they answer those questions transparently. I've seen this many times where mid-level managers are sharing what comes from, the senior leadership, and they don't know why. And so they're like, well, this is just what they said. So they need to believe it. They need to know it. So as senior leaders, you need to make sure that your next level of supervisors and even the next level are really clear, and that why is so important, and on a regular basis, and really communicate the expectations between the teams. And so understanding that there could be something actually happening with one team, how it affects another team. I know, years ago between sales and production, that, understanding how they communicate, that was always a team that was fighting. Production was like, you can't sell that. We can't do it. And sales were like, we're selling it, build it. So just understanding how that operates as well, too. And really building feedback loops that ensure that alignment just isn't assumed. And really, if you're talking to your team, it could be something as simple as that. You ask, can somebody clarify what I just said? Because in the listening process that we teach with our teams, sometimes people aren't listening. They're not paying attention. They're thinking about something else. They're thinking about how it's going to affect them. They're thinking about lunch. They're thinking about whatever, and they really don't hear the message. So if somebody is in a leadership role, they really need to be clear about hearing what those messages are so they can relay that as well. And then prioritizing management by demonstrating those core values and cultural alignment. Understanding and knowing your core values, but marrying your message with your core values. So there's a team that we just finished working with for the past 4 months. I've mentioned it before, the Department of Transportation at the City of Tucson. And we just completed our 8 series of organizational EQ. And I will tell you that the director lives by those core values. And there's actually a poster in the conference room. So there were many times we were talking about the training and we pointed to the core value that it was attached to. So it's having everybody understand that. By the way, if you don't have your core values posted and you live them, it's walking the talk. That's actually helpful. That might be something to look at as well, too.